Hey everyone, welcome back to the realm. I'm Gina.
I'm Rich.
I'm Rob.
I'm Brian.
And we are back with a weird weekly news segment. Only I don't know, like we can't call it weekly because now it's like bi-weekly, but I mean, I don't want to put labels on it.
But it's for the week. It's for this week.
Yeah, just for that week. Yeah, it's just weird news for that week.
Weird whenever news. Instead of weird weekly, weird whenever news.
There we go. Weird whenever news.
There we go. That's
weird
a catch.
Whenever the hell we feel like it news.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go. Mm-hmm. Well, last time Rob and Rich were the only ones that didn't have to do a news story.
That doesn't exclude you guys from being on the wheel.
I understand that tonight we won't. I will, just because Jenny's not here to level the playing field.
The Fox Weather app is available on Roku. Stream the latest.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Wait a minute.
That's okay.
Who was that joining us? I didn't see them pop in.
That's a write-up. That's
a
write-up.
Story. Spoiler alert.
We don't do that here, Rob. We don't do that here.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let me get my binder out of all my rules I can and can't do.
We do not do that here. We just embrace the weird and the suck and whatever else happens. So okay, I got the wheel of names. What do you call it, Brian? I always
Wheel of Destiny.
That's it, the Wheel of Destiny. So I'm going to share my screen so that we can see who is going to go first. So because we have to let that be the decider.
Although I haven't lately, it's been actually on my side. So
all right,
not on my side or whatever.
All right, are you guys able to see the wheel?
No.
Oh, you see something?
There it is.
The.
Oh wait, you can see the wheel now?
Sponsored by BMO.
Okay. So you see the wheel. You don't see anything else but like maybe my background, because I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Your background.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that there's not like I have all these other windows open tonight. not those kind of windows, but they're for my news stories and I just don't want them shown.
Okay, no spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers. All right, so here we go. We're gonna see who's gonna give us the first
spin. That wheel.
Spin. Let's go. Let's see. Why is it glitching?
I don't know. It's like psychedelic.
Oh, no way! No way!
It's almost like your It's almost like your luck ran out.
Here's my shocked face.
All right, Rich is going to be doing the first article today.
So, all right. Well, my story is more of a current event, weird thing that happened. Coming from the NTT IndyCar series. Anybody hear about what happened this past week?
Oh.
Team Penske driver Joseph Newgarden, Scott McLaughlin, and Will Power were penalized for some infractions that happened 6 weeks ago, which is odd thing to happen. The race was at St. Petersburg in Florida, and Joseph Newgarden won the race. Scott McLaughlin finished second. Will Power finished someplace. He didn't finish in the top 5, but he was in the race. Roger Penske owns the team. He also owns the IndyCar series. So the whole series of, the licensing and the officiating and all the rules, Roger Penske owns that. He purchased that a couple years ago because it was up for sale. He bought that along with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So he owns all those properties.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yes. So the team he owns was penalized. Not only was it penalized points, the win, which Joseph Newgarden had, was stripped from the team and given to the second place driver. This is the first time since 1995 that a winner was stripped of their victory. So it doesn't happen all the time. It's an odd thing to happen in any motorsports arena, NASCAR, IndyCar, or whatever. Usually you'll get a slap on the wrist. You'll get, the points deduction or a fine of money, whatever. But usually they let the winner gets to keep the race.
Yeah, the last time they took that win away, it was because that driver did the pictorial in Playboy, and they snatch it right away. Oh, I thought it was like a beauty contest rule.
Not that one. No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Vanessa found out the hard way.
The ironic part about that is the last person
they were cheating in some way on the racetrack.
Yes, I'm going to get to that as to what the reasoning was, and what makes it a little odd to me what their excuse was. And you guys can weigh in on that. Not that you follow motorsports or any of that stuff, but just the way that they describe it and what the rule book says. But the irony in this is that driver that was stripped of the victory in 1995 was Al Unser Jr., who also at the time was racing for Roger Penske. So kind of odd there that those two are connected. But in this case, all three teams were penalized 10 points. And they also had a monetary fine, and the Newgarden and McLaughlin were disqualified, which means that they get put to the back of the field. They lose their points, they lose everything. It's like you didn't even race. So for finishing first and second 6 weeks ago, they thought, oh man, Newgarden's the points leader, because the race that was just today was only the second race of the season, or third race of the season, I should say. So this was the first race, like I said, over 6 weeks ago. This came up last week in Long Beach in California, is where they found that there was a discrepancy with something that happened the race before. This all centers around the push to pass. And what that is on the steering wheel, there's a button that drivers can use throughout the race for a certain length of time. They can push the button. It gives them a little bit more horsepower, and it only lasts for like 10, 15 seconds. Then it goes off. You get say you get a minute of it. So you can use that however you want to use it. Anytime you push the button, it'll last for a few seconds and stop. So you can use
like
that.
Our go-karts in the Dells.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You can use it anytime you want within the rule book, and it's only on road courses. The rule book states that you can only use it after the restart of a race, once you pass the alternative start finish line, which on a road course, there's always a different start finish line where you start the race from or you finish the race from. It's not exactly at the flag stand. In this case, what they found was that Newgarden and McLaughlin were pushing the button as soon as they got to the start finish line. They were pushing the button to gain an advantage. In the rule book, it states, like I just said, you cannot do that. It's always been that way. Nothing has changed. There's no reason to think I should push that button now because it's going to give me an advantage, because it's never been there. And how that's policed is IndyCar overall, the sanctioning body, the officials, whatever. Everything's computerized now in NASCAR, IndyCar. So they can tell who's doing what, when they're doing it, things like that. What they found is they were pushing that button and they were gaining that advantage. They didn't know at the time that it was actually giving them that advantage. They found it in Long Beach during pre-warm-up when all the cars were on the track doing this. For some reason, IndyCar disabled the push to pass on all the cars for something because they were checking something. Well, guess which three cars didn't turn off? The three Penske cars still had the push to pass active, and IndyCar went, "What? Wait a minute, what's going on? How is your guys still active when we turned everybody's off?" Well, now they start to backtrack. Team Penske backtracks. Well, when we were doing our preseason testing, we had it so that you could use it anytime, because in preseason testing, there are no rules about that. You can, to test whatever, tires, speed, suspension, whatever. They had it disabled so that it could be used when they were testing. Well, they forgot to take that out of there. My problem with that is there's a couple problems with that. If you took it out, if you knew you put it in there, but you forgot, why are two of your drivers on camera pushing the button as soon as the start finish line hits? And they go, "Well, we didn't know it was working." Yet the third person, Will Power, never pushed that button until legally he knew he could. Joseph Newgarden's excuse is, well, I didn't know if the rules had changed at the beginning of the year and it allowed us to do that now. Wait a minute. Your team owner owns the whole thing, and you think that, well, maybe there was a rule change and I just didn't know about it. Come on now. You knew about this. That's why you were pushing the button. You were hoping you weren't going to get caught, and you got caught. They had a backtrack this week, and they had a big emotional speech, and oh, we're sorry, we apologize. We didn't. It wasn't something intentional. It was something that was left on the car by accident. We didn't know. I call bullshit on that, because obviously 2-year drivers knew, because they were pushing the button, and they finished first and second in the race. And Newgarden finished over 8 seconds ahead of second place. 8 seconds is huge on a road course. I mean, that's huge.
Is the way that they caught them is because they had everybody else's turned off, so they were looking at the telemetry and saying,
correct. And then all of a sudden they can see that Penske's cars are out there and they're still pushing the button. And they're like, wait a minute, how are you guys still pushing the button?
So not only did they have that button hooked up that they can use it whenever, they also had something hooked into it that was blocking it from being disabled by NASCAR.
IndyCar, apparently.
Or IndyCar, sorry.
And it's funny how what would have happened if they went to cut it at Long Beach?
Right. If the only reason why they caught it is because
that's the only reason they caught it.
Doing that. Yeah.
Or did somebody squeal?
So my question is this. So Brian, you had mentioned kind of like telemetry or whatever. So do they keep digital records where they record each race so that they can go back and like see when these things are activated?
And why it took them 6 weeks?
It's like dialed into a system at every racetrack they're at. Yep. Is that it? Okay.
Yep. It's all computerized. And I guess that's one of the things that everybody's saying too is, why does it take 6 weeks to find that out? There should have been no reason it took 6 weeks to find that, because maybe right.
Nobody was really looking at it before.
Yeah. Maybe an oversight, maybe a flaw in the system that now they got to go, oh shit, we should be checking that.
Maybe somebody's sleeping on their job.
Maybe. But there's no reason for that.
Because they bring it up and they say, hey, look, we found this. Somebody turns it over, and then somebody else has to look at it and go, okay, we have to start asking some questions. Then they call up Penske and they go, we'll get back to you. Let us look into some things. And then that goes, you know what I mean? It's just
right.
The whole process of trying to get simple answers about things. Probably that's why it takes that long, because, Penske is not going to fess up to it right away. So they got to come up with something.
Right. Right. Yeah. And it's weird that, they got them, the cars have the in-car cameras or whatever in the IndyCar, and you can see everything, and you can, I didn't watch the race, so I don't know, but that's one of the things that's in the news article, they can see on the camera that he's pushing the button right at the start finish line. So, and then there's other people, well, it's just force of habit. You're always pushing the button. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. If you're not supposed to do it, why would you even try to do it? Because there should be nothing there.
I don't know enough about racing to have an opinion, but I find that very interesting how they, I didn't realize that there was like such intricate things to racing, like these buttons and keeping track of it and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I wish I had one of those buttons in my car.
Right. I do on mine. On a side note, just to bring this up, at Daytona, the following week after Daytona, Joey Logano, who drives for Team Penske in the NASCAR side, was penalized for using a illegal glove in his car.
Oh, I saw that.
He had a glove that the fingers were webbed over, so it made it look like a mitt, so he could put his hand out the window and block the air. Wasn't qualifying, it would give an advantage of the airflow, and they got caught for that too. So a little odd, everybody's you read a bunch of things. Oh yeah, everybody's cheating. Everybody's pushing the rule book. Everybody does whatever they can. It's just seems like Team Penske's been under the microscope here lately, and this coming out after the fact, after that even doesn't make it any better. Especially, and if it's a team, everybody goes shame on you. But like I said, your boss owns the whole ball of wax, and it doesn't look good, because if you just how they figured this out. Like I said, I don't know how they did and why it took so long. But what other oversights could have possibly slipped through the cracks? I mean, Newgarden's the guy that won the Indy 500 last year, you know, or his guys win the championship. I mean, you know what I mean? You start to wonder.
Yep.
Maybe something's being missed. Why are these guys so dominant? Why? That's an age old thing with racing. It's gone in cycles for years,
Yep.
and all forms of motorsports where one team seems to have that golden horseshoe that, you know, they can't do anything wrong. But, you know, even some of the other competitors and teams express their frustration that, you know, it's very disappointing, you know, because everybody looks up to Penske and the organization of how they run everything. And then this comes out. It's very disappointing and very demoralizing to the other team owners and the teams that are, you know, expect everybody be on the same playing field. And then you find out that someone's bending the rules a little bit, you know, and gets caught. You know, they always say, you know, it's not cheating if you don't get caught. So, you know,
I do not agree with that statement.
I think we'd be remiss if I don't point out that somebody's name is Willpower. How many times did he have to hear Willpower, it's now or never? Like Gary Puckett had to be like, am I the only one that if I hear that, like, that's Lady Willpower? Come on, Gary Puckett.
Well, I'll never listen to that song again, the same ever again now. So thank you for that.
Right now, you're going to think of Willpower the driver,
or you singing it.
Name though for a race car driver.
Yeah, it's something. But I just thought it was a weird news thing when it came up. I was like, because it's not something you hear all the time. I mean, you'll hear little rumblings here or there about something happened, but it's odd that, you know, the circumstances and the backstory to the whole thing just struck me as weird.
And they were stripped of their titles, so that's
no win, no points. So I mean, he went from being the points leader to, I don't know where he went, fell to not even in the top 10 in points. So I mean, it's not, you know, it's a pretty competitive series. So every point means something. So to have that stripped away, and now you got that cloud over you too. And now everything you do, let's say you go out and win 3 races in a row, what's everybody going to be? First thing everybody's going to think is, you know, maybe there's something else going on there, which sucks for everybody because that shouldn't be that way. But
especially somebody like you that's such a huge racing fan. So
yeah, well, it happens.
Well, thanks.
I would never cheat.
I feel like I learned something new. It was almost like a full episode today. I learned so much about racing. All right. Are you guys ready?
See.
Spin that wheel.
Spin that.
Move that bus. Oh, wait, wrong show.
I think I have like my internet is just glitching. Round and round and round it goes. Where it stops, it's gonna be Rob. The two people.
I think this was a setup.
Why do you say that?
Because me and you were the only two who didn't go last time, and guess who gets picked this time?
I bet you she has control that we just don't know about. I'm sure that if we research the website, that we would find out that there's a way to control that.
How about this? How about next time you do the wheel of names on your screen and you share your screen and you spin the wheel?
Oh, what
Doubting Tom.
What makes you think there's going to be a next time now? Listen, we've already had enough cheating on this episode. So
I do want to point out one thing, Gina. You have 2 more emails now in your email box, so now you don't have 6666 anymore. It's now 6.
My emails today went 6666, and I was so excited. The other day it was 6661, and I sent that to Rob. And then
that was wearing my 666 shirt.
He's like, oh, yes, I have 6,000 unread messages, but that's just because.
Really?
Okay, that's between like 7 different email accounts. We have the Realm. I have my It's All Connected. I have Lifeberry, the other thing that I'm doing. And then I have my one that I just sign up everything for. And then I have my professional one, and so, and I have 2 others, but I digress. It's your turn to speak.
Oh, there you go. So, some of you have probably seen the picture of this haunting mermaid mummy from Japan.
I did hear about that.
I did not.
Right. But this is a very old mummy. It has been around for a long time. It was first discovered about 100 years ago, and it has been on display. It was on sideshows, and it made it into museums. So it's this roughly a foot long. They call it the Fiji mermaid because it was found outside, washed up ashore in some beach in Japan.
Do you want to share your screen?
I'm looking it up.
I don't have a real. Well, we can, but I don't have a super great like it's the whole page. So I can't like really.
You tell your
click on it.
story, and I'll look something up.
Yeah, you look up a good picture of the Fiji
It's
mermaid
haunting
because you
according
should
to
be able.
this site.
What's that?
According to this site, it's haunting.
Oh yeah, according to mine, it's haunting too.
Okay. Winners.
That is crazy.
So after having it for all these years, first, like I said, discovered in mid 1800s, moved around, blah blah blah. They were actually allowed to do some tests on it, run X-rays, and what they discovered was that the initial investigation found that the mummy appeared to be made from the head and torso of a monkey sewed onto the decapitated body of a fish.
Oh,
The mermaid's hands were the clawed legs from a lizard, most likely a Komodo dragon.
oh,
So,
oh.
I think I have a photo of it.
That's what I would have used.
Yeah,
Komodo dragon.
but they for so long this has been like the holy shit. We have a mummy, or we have a There you go.
There it is.
So, sorry guys, it's a fake. I know you're all like, this is proof. This is it right here.
So since the 1800s, everybody thought this was
the genuine artifact. They just shoved a stick through it, couple pieces of wood, and some wires in the arm, and there it was. But I mean, they actually had to do all the scientific analysis.
I mean, it doesn't really lend to the old like stories that mermaids were these beautiful, creatures that lured people in, because
right. But a lot of those myths are the myth to that too is that they're hideous creatures that lure them in.
Gotcha.
Right?
Like the sirens with their
voices. That was the word I was looking for, like sirens and whatnot, or that they appear to be beautiful because you're hypnotized by their song, but they're really these hideous monkey creatures with Komodo dragon arms. And it's this is the problem with the internet and modern technology, is that it just takes away the fun out of everything, right?
Damn DNA tests.
Right. Well, it's just
ruining everything.
Right.
Why is there wood in here? Huh. That's a little odd.
Why did they do this a long time ago?
Yeah, right.
I'll get you a link, Gina, to another story of another Japanese fake mermaid.
No way. How do you know that one's fake?
Did you send it to email?
I send it, to the Realm Connected.
I'll take a peek really quick.
This one said that it was mostly made from cloth, paper, and cotton, and pufferfish skin was used on the arms, shoulders, neck, and cheeks. This hair was mammalian in origin, and its nails were made from animal keratin, and the jaws were taken from an unknown carnivorous fish.
Probably a mermaid.
Another one. Boy, people have been doing this for a long time.
Right.
Okay, hang on.
I'm gonna... And how long they've had this on display, right? We don't have a Bigfoot corpse, but we have a mermaid corpse. Now we just know it was mutilation.
I'm gonna share my screen now. I had to get it pulled up, but I have the the article that Brian just sent. So
Because this one looks quite different than Rob's. So it's funny that even when people are trying to make a fake one, they can't get on the same page.
are you
Well,
guys
maybe
able
it
to
was
see
just
the
a different
screen?
race of mermaid.
Mm.
Are you guys able to see the screen?
No, I just see you.
Oh, well, something's
Damn.
going on. But I actually don't see an image. Oh, wait, yeah, I do. Hold on a second. Here,
Shaw.
second. Let me just technical difficulties here, people.
Oh, here it comes.
You see it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There.
It looks like the monkey fish in the other one.
Very similar.
Yeah, very similar. I like how they went through the extra work of like really hook tailing that,
Yes.
the tail.
Uh-huh.
Well, I really think they tried to give it boobies too.
Yes,
Oh,
they
you're
did.
right. They did.
Yeah.
They did
Yeah.
try to give it some chesticles there,
Chesticles.
Oh, they did.
for lack of better words.
Would they use
Okay.
a coconut for the head there?
Well, that's what put
It
the
looks like a
lime in the
coconut.
coconut and shake it all up. We have a few extra minutes. Would you guys mind if I told you this story? Because
Is it about a mermaid?
no,
Is it
it's
about
not.
NASCAR or Indy?
Nope. It's
Not gonna
not.
fit in. Is
Hang
it about
on.
cheating?
I have to find it now because everything's disappeared from this screen. Because it's one of those stories that like I was like hoping I would get picked a little bit just so that I could share this. But my internet is running really slow, so I apologize for that. Okay. Here's the headline. Woman travels to Romania and becomes a witch to protect herself from her ghost ex-husband.
Ooh.
That's a lot to dissect there.
Oh, okay.
She is from Oxfordshire, and this is from the Mirror UK, which I'm sure is probably like the Inquirer here. But
Start with the Inquirer. That's where I
She-
get all my news from.
right, all the best news.
Right.
She says huh?
We call it the paper.
Yes. So this is the mirror.co.uk. Obviously, we'll put the links to every single one of our stories in the show notes. But it says that she's turned to witches for help after her experiences with her ex ghost husband Eduardo.
Oh,
Wait,
So she,
ex-husband or ex-ghost husband?
no
Like,
ghost
did
husband.
she have more than one ghost husband before in the past?
I'm not sure. That's just how it was written.
is this the same woman that broke up with the one after she saw what his face looked like?
No,
yeah.
no, yeah. Remember that one?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that was a good one.
No,
Yeah.
it's along the same lines, but it's not the
Huh.
same woman.
All
So-
right.
Same ghost.
So this lady, she claims to have been married and then divorced a ghost, and she went to Romania to join a powerful coven of witches. She recently revealed her new career path as a paranormal investigator in
Nice.
order to understand and control her inner magic. She flew to Romania for the day to become a witch, and she joined the coven to uncover the mysteries of witchcraft, and had a spell cast on her for protection against the devil and her spectral ex, which was a Victorian soldier. So there was like
This sounds like the origin story of our fearless leader.
she says she turned to the witches for assistance following her experiences with her ex-ghost Eduardo. They were married, but a year later married was in quotes, but a year later she ended the relationship, accusing the spirit of infidelity and stalking. I'm just going to leave it at that because it just really goes on to talk about her experience as witch and like why she wanted to learn the witch. But I just,
Is that
I just thought
necrophilia?
that, I'm sorry.
Is that necrophilia?
No, because they're not living.
Not a
It's not a
corpse?
body. Right. It was a ghost. It was spectral. His name was Eduardo. He was Victorian era.
Bardo.
His name was Eduardo. It's different.
Maybe it was Edward Cullen.
Oh,
Maybe it was.
Here we go
Edward
again.
here we go.
Eyes.
Here we go.
Anyway, that's it. I just had to add my little news story.
That's a good one. There's a lot in there to dissect on that one.
Yeah.
How does she know he was cheating?
I didn't even really get into the whole thing, but I just had to get into that small.
Yeah, that's the question we need to know. How did she know he was cheating?
How did she know he was stalking? Was stalking what?
We know. We know how
to talk about that. It was more just talking about the coven and the witches and like witchcraft and all this stuff.
Did he show up in other people's seances or something?
I'm not sure.
Well, from now on, we got to make a pact. Whenever we go ghost hunting, we always ask if Eduardo is there.
Eduardo, are
maybe
you
he's there? Maybe he's creeping in.
I feel a hand on my butt.
Eduardo, is that you? Oh.
I think we know how she found out that guy was cheating. It's like Rich said. She clearly listens to the realm.
Oh,
she
clearly.
heard the story about the woman who was in love with a ghost until she saw his face. She heard the description. She heard all the details, and she went, "Oh hell no!
That's my guy.
That is Eduardo. Oh hell no!" And then she went, "Yep." So we sent the poor guy up the river. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eduardo.
Yeah,
We owe Eduardo. We busted him out. Oh Lord. Okay. Well, these are never boring. Never boring. I love these episodes. So thanks guys for bringing your A game on these stories. We hope each and every one of you listeners have enjoyed it. We want to thank all of our new followers. We've received quite a bit of support in the last week.
Thanks, guys.
That has increased, and we are very excited about it. So thank you to everyone for all of your support. Keep listening. Give us suggestions. If you have weird news happen in your area, send it our way. Because if it's weird, we're wild about it. I came up with that catchphrase.
Yeah, it is.
Wild about weird. Oh, nice. I like that. You kind of
anyway,
copyright.
We can put those C on it. All right, everybody. Till next time. Ciao. Peace out.
Peace out.
Deuces.
2 and 2 right back at you. Oh.
Hey.
Hey.